It is Saturday, the 22nd of August, 2026. Thank you for joining us for the very first edition of News Tonight with me, Moureen Babirye. These are our stories tonight. The Committee of Finance, Planning and Economic Development has undergone an induction retreat to strengthen members' understanding of parliamentary procedures, their responsibilities and the conduct expected of them as legislators. But beyond legislation and oversight, MPs have been reminded that how they conduct themselves can influence the quality of their decisions and public confidence in Parliament.
Parliament is mandated to make laws, approve taxation and borrowing and oversee government programs and expenditure. To execute this mandate, MPs are guided by rules of procedures governing business in both committee sittings and plenary sessions. While members receive orientation when they join Parliament, further inductions are conducted to strengthen their understanding of legislative practice and leadership responsibilities. The Committee on Finance, Planning and Economic Development has now undergone an induction retreat with etiquette and decorum, emphasized as essential to how MPs conduct parliamentary business.
Decorum is mainly about behavior, good behavior, and how you apply them when you're in public place or any other serious place, high-level place. And then etiquette. These are the norms and all codes of conduct that regulate our behavior when we are conducting official duty, but also in our interaction generally in society.
Members have been reminded that leadership requires respect for established protocols, punctuality and sensitivity to different cultures when engaging with people and institutions.
For instance, you cannot go to an Islamic country and when they serve dinner, you start inquiring about an alcoholic drink. That would not be sensitive. You cannot go to the DRC and start asking them why they eat monkeys, of all things. No, it is not part of your work. Part of your work.
Inside the chambers, MPs are expected to observe the authority of the chair, remain silent when another member is speaking, and avoid interrupting proceedings. Even reactions such as clapping are expected to be guided by parliamentary procedure and decorum.
But within our rules of procedure, we have a section that helps in regulating our conduct. And this is Rule 89.
Item number 4 on the order paper.
The expectations also extend beyond Parliament, particularly when MPs represent the country in diplomatic and international settings.
When you are addressing people, always address them with their executive titles. Your Excellency, Honorable Member, Ambassador, that is a sign of respect.
Dress code and adherence to established procedures are also part of the expectations.
When you go for missions, I think you must put, first of all, the mission, the purpose of the mission first before anything else. If it is a meeting, let it be a meeting. You participate in the meeting fully. Because there's no point of going for a meeting outside. Instead of a meeting, you go shopping. When you come back, you don't even know what happened.
The message from the induction is clear. For MPs entrusted with public resources and national decision-making, competence alone is not enough. How they conduct themselves is equally central to public trust and accountability. Ivan Kahwa, UBC.
Welcome to this house. When you see him, he's a encyclopedia.
And now in our headlining stories tonight, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has urged people of the West Nile sub-region to embrace university education by sending their children to Moureen University. This was in a message delivered on his behalf by Vice President Jessica Alupo during the groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of Teaching and Research Hospital facility at Moureen University in Arua City.
Vice President Jessica Alupo has launched the construction project of Teaching and Research Hospital at Moureen University in Arua City. The Vice President represented President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni during the groundbreaking for construction of a 160 billion shillings learning and research hospital facility funded by the government of Uganda.
The Teaching and Research Hospital will be a center of excellence for the provision of health services, training of healthcare professionals, research and innovation. I therefore wish to reiterate the government's commitment to funding the construction and providing the equipment for the teaching and the research hospital.
A total of 30 billion shillings has been committed by the government of Uganda as a startup funding for the first phase of construction, with additional funding expected to come from the national budget allocations. In his message delivered by the Vice President Jessica Alupo, President Museveni challenged the people of West Nile sub-region to take advantage of Moureen University to educate their children.
Moureen University was established as a public university to address the development needs of West Nile. I encourage parents, especially from the West Nile region, to send their children to Moureen University. Please guide your children to select courses in fields of science and technology to boost their employability in the private sector.
Chancellor of Moureen University, His Grace Henry Luke Orombi, described the initiative as a beacon of hope for health services in Uganda.
May this teaching and research hospital become a house of healing, a center for learning, a laboratory of discovery, and a beacon of hope in this area, our region, and Uganda at large. May it serve Uganda, may it serve West Nile, and the wider international community.
The Learning and Research Hospital will have, among others, components of oncology as one of the priority services that have been lacking in West Nile.
Cancer is a very big challenge. To diagnose some of these things, you have to go to Kampala. So by the time we have been getting these cancers, it has been late, stage 3 and stage 4. So you go to Kampala when you're alive, we bring you back when you are in a coffin. But when we have the oncology hospital here, we'll be screening early and also treating early.
Members of Parliament from West Nile thanked the government of Uganda for the facility, saying part of their advocacies for money has yielded fruits.
It's going to help us give the opportunity to learners to be trained.
It was a bit tempting because in the last minutes almost Moureen University was withdrawn. Today you heard even the Commission of Education, the chair of the council thanking me in person. We pushed because we had to bang the table and say that this is enough. If West Nile or Moureen University is not among the universities where capital infrastructure has been put, then we are not approving the budget for Education Committee. So finally it was put.
For Arua Regional Referral Hospital, if it is uplifted to the national status of a referral hospital, then it is even going to give more support towards Moureen as a university.
Joseph Fodama, UBC News.
In Bundibujo, it has been a busy day for the Minister of Local Government, Balam Barugahara, as he combed different parts of Bundibujo district on his third day of the anti-corruption tour for Rwenzori sub-region. In company of State Minister for Lands Harriet Ntabazi and local members of Parliament, Balam has been received by thousands of residents in Bundibujo district as they all expressed optimism that this corruption swipe will at the end pave way for service delivery.
Minister of Local Government's anti-corruption journey to Bundibujo district began from Karugutu Town Council in Ntoroko district as waiting crowds intercepted him. Karugutu residents demanded his attention to the roadside garbage, which is alleged to have remained uncollected for weeks. Here Balam was forced to tour the town council markets, which vendors claimed is substandard, congested and highly taxing. In a rush moment, Balam addressed the crowds from Karugutu Health Center Free with a promise of dedicating another day to Ntoroko district. In Bundibujo, Balam was received by the State Minister for Lands, Harriet Ntabazi, who was accompanied by locals. And then the tour began. Led by Minister Ntabazi, Balam kicked off the inspection from Mabango State Secondary in Mabeli Sub-County in Bujendera County. The school construction, according to whistleblowers, has stalled and works equally doesn't reflect value for money. Before he even settles in the area, the creation of Bujendera district then set in from the communities.
Ati president yagambire gende abo bagende baboye Bwendera. Ababwendera murakorashi.
Yes, we want to Bwendera district. One, you have seen the road itself.
At Kicho Health Center 4, the local government minister was interested in knowing the operating challenges and, where possible, helping forging a humble solution.
So this is the Bwendera hospital.
Yes. District. Health Center 4. The ward now has around 12, but it can accommodate only 8. And by me. You should also clap for me. Yes.
Then he proceeded to Nyapiriri Bridge in Buhunda sub-county.
So the man says if the rain comes, it will wash away the bridge.
15 kilometers away from Nyapiriri Bridge, there is also this bridge under construction.
How do you build a bridge without even the smallest steel on earth called steel wire?
A bridge without even an iron bar, not even BRC, not even steel wire, the way the way Honorable Balam is saying.
The story here isn't different from the first sight.
The whole chain, whoever was involved, will go in.
To him, this was meant to be the last stopover in Tokwe sub-county. However, due to the locals' demands, Balam accepted to inspect Tokwe Bridge. With the bridge cutting off his convoy, walking was the only available mode of transport. The 10-kilometer walk was nothing close to entertainment from communities. To other members of the community, through church songs, they expressed their gratitude. After nearly 40 minutes of walking, Balam finally arrived at the bridge. This is estimated to have costed the individual local governments over 600 million shillings. In almost all major towns where Balam went through, hundreds lined up along major routes to wave and cheer him up. In Busonga Town Council, the Shode Market Works attracted Balam's visit. With no clear accountability, Balam ordered for the arrest of the town council clerk. The love for Minister Balam to inspect schools and hospitals in Bundibugyo district was almost the order of the day. For those who couldn't satisfy the minister on allegations of corruption, didn't survive the arrest. The Saturday anti-corruption caravan ended from these playgrounds. Robert Nyango, UBC News.
Thank you, Robert Onyango, for bringing us up to speed. Now we take you to Mubende, where the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabanja, has advised the Mbogo clan members to stop taking too much alcohol because it contributes to poverty among many families. The Prime Minister, also a member of Mbogo clan, both in Buganda and Bunyoro, was presiding over the clan's 2026 reunion in Buekula, Mubende district. The Prime Minister promised the people of Mubende to resolve their complaints in regards to the alleged land grabbers in the district.
Munsi muno ebika babiteekawo nga ffe tetunnabeerawo, ffenna abali wano twaki tunnabeerawo. Njagala omutaka onsindikira okulamusa kuno okutuuke, nsiime ne Katikkiro wa Buganda olw'okusindika representation ku mukolo guno. Nze kindeese kumanyagana. Tuludde nga tukola ekintu kyekimu okumala emyaka.
muzeeyi oyo buli etuba n'okumanyagana n'emasindi yagenda abantu ba wano balina ekizibu ky'ettaka kubanga nga tolina ttaka tosobola kufuna mirembe era ngenda kulagira minisita w'ebyettaka ajje wano mbagirawo abayambe bapime ettaka lyammwe tusobole okusasula omugagga musigale ku byapa byammwe.
Engalo za Prime Minister ku ttaka nga z'amaanyi nnyo.
Ekyokubiri kyenkutte wano ekyamaanyi ennyo nti eddwaliro lyammwe lirimu ebisoomooza era bwe naddayo mu kabinet ku mbalaza ngenda gamba muzeeyi yadde tuzimbye ebizimbe bitali matiribona Mubende abantu bakaaba. Esente za PDM z'abaavu tuli ffenna ne bwe twali ku kisaawe wali bwe twakyaza pulezidenti nabagamba esente za PDM zaaki naye abagagga bazeekiise abaasooka okufuna mu mate mwakimanya esente zino zakuzzaayo nga zirimu amagoba ga mitwalo 18. Kaakati omuntu atamidde alina engeri gy'afuna essanyu alina engeri gy'awulira obulungi naye nga byakulimba omwenge ogwo singa nyina obuyinza n'aligambye ab'embogo okunywa omwenge tukuveeko naye abasobola mu kikole tegulina kyamaanyi kyegwongerako. Abantu b'embogo tulina okukola n'amaanyi. Omuntu ayakedde ku makya n'agenda okukola n'avaayo essaawa nga ziizo teyenkanankana n'oyo ayeebase.
In other news, Justice Samuel Emoko of the High Court Land Division has challenged universities across the country to establish moot courts to equip law students with practical skills and professional ethics needed to handle legal matters. Emoko was speaking during the inaugural National Land Law Moot Competition at Nkumba University, which brought together law students to debate land rights, urbanization and sustainable development while balancing constitutional protection, investment and community interests.
The inaugural Land Law Moot Competition brought together law students from universities across Uganda, and of the more than 23 accredited universities offering law, 12 participated in the competition, with Makerere University emerging winner, Nkumba University second.
Our expectation is that after this moot, it is going to inform land rights, it's going to inform policy, it's going to inform law.
In legal field, it is going to help in to improve on having incompetent lawyers in the country.
So what we are doing is a continuous culture that has been there, but we are taking it to another level.
The competition seeks to bring universities together to debate critical questions surrounding land rights and the administration of justice in Uganda.
We are putting a lot of emphasis for law because in the community there are a lot of challenges, different challenges in the family, and now we hear a lot of murders due to land disputes. So even starting with a moot competition for land, that has been a great opportunity for the law students.
Nabalende also called on government to support private universities in establishing properly equipped moot courts, saying this would provide students with opportunities to put classroom knowledge into practice.
Because we know that National Council and Law Council require that all schools have moot courts, but coming up with that infrastructure is a bit expensive. So we are appealing to the government to hold the hands of private institutions.
Justice Samuel Emoko, who led a team of High Court judges and adjudicators during the competition, commended the quality of presentations and legal arguments exhibited by participants. Emoko challenged all accredited universities to prioritize the establishment of moot courts, saying they provide an important platform for students to gain practical experience and prepare for careers as lawyers, judicial officers and judges.
Do that, I was impressed. They could go back to the facts of the case, relate it to the law. It is not easy. They were able to do that, and I want to believe that throughout the day, that is what other teams were also doing. So you've really argued the harder part of it.
I just want to encourage you or remind you that oral advocacy is basically about having a conversation with the judge. So when the judge maybe poses a question, you don't have to rush to give an answer.
During the competition, students argued hypothetical land-related cases involving ownership disputes, evictions, land titling, and other property matters, demonstrating how courts can apply the law to resolve civil disputes. Makerere University, which emerged winner, was awarded a trophy and medals, while outstanding performers and participating universities were also recognized for their contribution to the inaugural competition.
In another development, the Commissioner for Secondary Education, Juliet Buzora, has commended President Museveni for his efforts in promoting Pan-Africanism, which has restored African identity, unity, pride, and strengthened political power. She also commended the President for supporting education programs including music, dance, and debate.
According to research, Africa is one of the richest continents in the world, but its people remain poor and divided. However, the commissioner in charge of secondary education, Juliet Buzora, says President Museveni's efforts that promoted Pan-Africanism has turned things around.
We are talking about Pan-Africanism, and on this note, I would like to appreciate the vision, like the RDC mentioned. His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, is the vision bearer for Pan-Africanism, for meaningful integration of the East African region, and he's in the center of all that, and for advancement. If we look at our vision 2040, we have just a few years left to have that vision gripped firmly and realized, where we should all move from subsistence economy, peasantry communities to middle income and economically independent Uganda.
She encouraged people to utilize the peace and stability towards their own economic transformation. About skilling, she said the ministry has streamlined the competency-based curriculum to see that students connect for jobs in East Africa and international markets.
So that we break through, we ignite the real thinking of our learners to think through, do research. The competence-based curriculum encourages learners to do research, relevant research, to move out of the comfort zone and get their hands into their education that will address issues that concern them. So,
the Tororo Municipal Education Officer, Teddy Makola, said some schools failed to participate in MDD due to the poor funding, as only 45 schools managed to make it.
We ought to have a high number of schools here, and for that matter is a humble request on behalf of NAMDEO that a policy should come clear from the ministry to allow parents to do the co-funding of some of the activities that are peculiar to facilitate the teaching and learning process.
Accordingly, the participating schools say they were challenged by performance by the Kenyan schools and asked government to extend more support towards MDD.
My name is Lakija Sharon, a student of Secretariat Secondary School, Gulu, found in Gulu City, and we were here to present a folk song, and it was all about sorrow, hunger, famine. That's all. Thank you.
Why did you ask in so many things? Like our culture of the Karamojong, through MDD, we are able to explore it and even to expose it to other regions. And this one is in a way that, like if we had not come here, you were not going to see the Karamojongs. We are proud to be the Karamojongs.
The National Secondary Music, Dance and Drama Debate Competition at Tororo Girls School features a central focus on creative expression, cultural heritage, and strengthening the secondary curriculum through art and edutainment, and defending champions Budo SS.
Africa needs more electricity, more water and more food, but its rivers are also becoming a source of tension between communities across. However, Uganda's experience on River Nile shows that development, conservation and cooperation can coexist. Henry Akrut has a detailed report.
Meetings have been held.
We need the support and the cooperation of everybody.
Thank you very much.
Opinions have been shared, decisions made, resolutions drafted and adopted.
Women play a central role in water management at the household and community level.
All in the pursuit of a balance between development and ecosystem protection.
Africa has great potential and great prospects.
This debate has not spared the future of the Nile River, whose waters generate power in some parts of Africa. The Nile at Kalagala is a powerful contradiction. Its waters generate electricity, but its falls also attract tourists and sustain an ecosystem.
This is one of the bigger rapids on this section of the Nile.
When Isimba Power Dam was planned, these interests collided. It took the intervention of environmental conservationists. The idea was to ensure that development did not completely erase the river's natural value.
We are now contented the dam is on, but now it is on our side to see that we protect the ecosystems we feed water into this dam.
Quite a difficult balance, but the principle was for the river to be developed without abandoning conservation.
So this is going to impact on the fisheries also, but the fisheries in this case that has been found is downstream of the Simba hydropower project. There will also be some impact on the livelihood, but there are a number of mitigation measures that we are going to undertake. We are going to extend the offset area upstream towards Bujagali to compensate for the area that has been affected.
Further north is Karuma. Here, hydropower meets the Machon Falls ecosystem. The question was again familiar: how to generate power and preserve nature. Environmental assessment became the bridge between the two.
A lot of stones were piled. In fact, there were mountains of stone, what they call muck. And we told them that after the project, they should be able to get rid of these stones, because the environment must be restored the way they found it.
This is because once a river is altered, reversing the direction can be difficult. Uganda has learned this lesson before.
Because as a dam engineer, I've given advice and so on, but it was being ignored, and then mistakes happen and we run into problem. But my conscience is clear that I've given you the direction.
His warning offers a simple lesson: to always listen to experts before the concrete is poured. But the challenge does not end at Uganda's borders. The Nile crosses several countries, 11 to be exact. What happens upstream can affect those downstream. And nowhere is this more evident than in the dispute over Ethiopia's Renaissance Dam. While Ethiopia wants development, Egypt wants water security, and Sudan has its own interests. The disagreement continues. The African Union has now placed water at the center of its agenda.
Responsible water management is central to guiding development wisely. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam now powers homes and industry, exports electricity to neighboring countries, and shows how African ingenuity can drive shared prosperity.
2026 is dedicated to sustainable water availability and safe sanitation. The message is timely because water is about development, but increasingly also about peace.
There is no life without water, and no development is possible without water. Water connects all development sectors, serving as an essential resource for agriculture, for energy, for industry, as well as the natural environment, which is a crucial source of livelihood for a significant portion of the African population.
Uganda remains committed to working with all the Nile Basin countries and partners to advance an inclusive, cooperative, and sustainable framework for managing our shared water resources.
The broader message was cooperation over shared water resources. The principle is becoming increasingly important across the Nile Basin. President Museveni has made a similar argument. At the 2025 Cardiff Summit in Kampala, he urged water-rich African countries to consider sharing their resources.
Since this is a high-level meeting of Africa, you can tell me whether the Atlantic Ocean is thirsty for water, all this water, which is going. Why doesn't Africa discuss with our brother people of Congo about how this massive water that is not used could help the water-stretched parts of Africa?
The proposition is for Africa to turn water from a source of competition to a tool of development. Uganda's experience offers part of that solution of assessing projects before they begin, listening to scientists, protecting ecosystems, and consulting communities. And where rivers cross borders, neighbors are also consulted. The objective should not be to stop development, but to make it sustainable.
That is why it is quite important now that we cooperate, we dialogue over that. There's no one single country that has total ownership on the Nile River more than the other.
Across Africa, the Nile River can support development without becoming a source of confrontation. To this effect, the answer remains cooperation, because the Nile is shared and its future must be shared too. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Mami!
Wanje sabo.
Ugamotia. Wina kachi. Ha. Kagulinis tekako. Kagulinis. I want everything, eh?
Okay.
Yes. So, when I pay the time, this will increase my loan limit. Hey, Hemutieni Momo. Madam, remove the food. Put more meat. Add the meat. Yes. No, these are the fruits of paying your loans in time.
That's right. Every time you repay your Momo loan on time, your loan limit can increase, giving you access to more money when you need it most. Dial star 165 star 5 hash to borrow, pay back, and grow your limit with Momo loans.
You have juice?
Yes.
Juice in me.
In Uganda, mornings don't begin with sunrise. They begin with courage. One man, one factory that has refused to stay silent. With one spark of courage, a chain of prosperity begins. When one Ugandan stands up, the nation moves. Pearl Bank. Grow. Prosper.
Alo.
Ese mwami mukasa.
Mutyaneyo.
Yono broka.
Yenze broka wa mayumba.
Bangambye ne nyumba za mwenungiko.
Kituufu. Oyagala abisenge bimeka?
Nga bisatu.
Ebbeeyi bagigambye?
Abangambye saa 5.
Nedda ssebo eno zaali nnyamuuko.
Lwaki?
Anti langi gye tusiigisa ya mulembe. Kati ne valiyo ekitundu yalinnya.
Musiigisa ki?
Global Paints.
Mutya.
Ku siiringi tukozesa Global Mat. Ate munda ne tukozesa Global Silk Vinyl.
Singa kwetaga wabweru.
Wabweru tukozesa Global Weather Coat Emulsion.
Kusiiga gye musiiga. Ogwo omutindo ogusasulira essente zonna.
Guli wumite.
Global Paint, a reliable product.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. Now, trees provide shade and fresh air, protect soil and water sources, support livelihoods and contribute to healthier communities. Recognizing the link between environmental protection and community well-being, the Lions Club of Kampala Central under Lions Club International, District 411B, Uganda, has stepped up its conservation efforts through tree planting. The club joined pupils, teachers, parents and community members at St. Jude Chibibi Catholic School in Bulyanhuyege, Nyansana Municipality, Wakiso District, to plant fruit trees and promote environmental responsibility. Take a look.
Environmental protection is one of the 8 global causes of Lions Clubs International, a worldwide service organization with nearly 1.4 million members in more than 200 countries and geographical areas.
Today that we have given over 210 trees, and each tree is to serve about 8 members of the community. You can see we have served nearly 2,000 members of the community around Bulyanhuyege.
The 8 causes are diabetes, hunger, environment, childhood cancer, vision, humanitarian needs, youth, and mental health. Through these causes, Lions Clubs mobilize communities to address challenges affecting quality of life.
We have participated together with our team in screening children and even teachers and other members of the community who joined us, screening them to see whether they are diabetic or not. So it is very important that they get to know their diabetic status. And then
at St. Jude Chibibi Catholic School, the tree planting exercise highlighted the long-term benefits of environmental action. The fruit trees are expected to provide food, improve the school environment, support biodiversity, and contribute to cleaner air and a healthier ecosystem. The initiative also sensitizes pupils and community members on environmental protection and maintaining clean surroundings.
We planted 210 trees at the site. We also cleaned the areas around the school, separating bottles from other forms of garbages. We educated the children on how to plant trees. We also educated them on how to keep the environment clean and how to
Community
separate
members participated in diabetes screening and vision health awareness, where pupils, teachers, parents and residents were encouraged to embrace proper hygiene and nutrition. The Lions Club of Kampala Central also prepared and shared a nutritious meal with the school community, reinforcing its focus on hunger and nutrition.
We have cooked the food and we are ready now to share the food with the children at school and show that when we join together, we act as a team, we fight hunger together.
Activities included a visit to the Lions Center in Ulyankuyege, where a $200,000 health center is being constructed by the Lions Club of Kampala Central with support from Lions clubs in Japan.
This health center has various facilities. One, we shall have vision, especially for kids. People should be able to come here and take their eyesight. They be checked, they be given glasses, they get treatment. Then we have a provision for gynecology and obstetrics, so women can deliver here. And
the activities brought together Lions leaders and members, leos from institutions including Makerere University, medical personnel, school authorities and community leaders.
Tukolagana n'abantu nga bano aba Lions Club n'abalala abeetegese okutuyambako. Neetegese okulaba nti nyongera kusaba emiti okuva mu bannaffe abalala nga naffe bwe tusimba egyaffe gye tulina.
In Uganda, Lions Clubs International District 411B comprises 71 Lions Clubs with close to 2,500 members, demonstrating the reach of organized community service.
Still on humanitarianism, the fight against cancer has for years been a key priority for the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Health, as evidenced by the facilities available. It is against this background that Rotary Uganda has stepped up efforts to contribute towards the cause through the annual Rotary Cancer Run. William Odoch, the president of the Rotary Club of Kampala Platinum, states that the run aims at creating awareness among the public, but also raise funds to support cancer treatment.
We are participating this time round into the Cancer Run, 30th of August 2026. The Cancer Run has become a very popular vehicle to see to it that together as a country, as a community, as Uganda, we mitigate the disease burden of cancer. Cancer is a major challenge, and cancer can be managed if it is detected early. Today, the Rotary Club of Platinum Kampala had a courtesy call, paid a courtesy call on one of its members who is the Speaker of Parliament of Uganda, and in doing so, they were able to deliver 300 kits of the Cancer Run that the Speaker will actually give to his constitutional burden called Cancer Cuts Across.
According to World Health Organization, there is a list of medication that is required to deal with the cancer, and he did mention that the government provides about 80% of those medicines are already available in country, and our people are accessing them free of charge. And that's something we should celebrate and thank our government and thank our doctors for what they are doing. So the call to government and to all of us to raise more money to cover the remaining 20%, such that
the fight against HIV and tuberculosis in Kampala is taking a new approach, with stakeholders calling for stronger coordination to close gaps in prevention, treatment and retention in care. Reach Out Mbuya Community Health Initiative, in partnership with Kampala Capital City Authority, is implementing a 5-year HIV-TB project supported by the U.S. President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, PEPFAR. The initiative seeks to strengthen Kampala's response to the two epidemics and contribute to achieving the global 95 to 95 to 95 HIV treatment targets.
For years, Uganda has made a significant progress in the fight against HIV and tuberculosis, but health authorities and implementing partners say persistent new infections, missed clinic appointments, and clients lost to follow-ups continue to threaten gains made in epidemic control.
About 185 clients in Kampala are living with HIV and are currently on treatment. That's a very huge burden. So this is basically for the whole city. And to mention is that we have a prevalence of about 5.6 from what we have, the data that we have 2025. And for KCCA has 6 direct supervised facilities, and these are at sites.
Kampala's HIV/TB stakeholders are being brought together to review the city's performance and agree on a practical interventions. The objective is to move away from isolated interventions and create a coordinated regional response.
Uganda's Commission is saying this is the time for us to have all our aid service organizations get accredited. Because through accreditation, we are going to be able to coordinate. We shall be knowing that organization so-and-so is providing such and such services and such specific area. Because when we do the accreditation, that online system, it specifies where what is being done.
The stakeholders were expected to examine the key HIV and TB indicators against national and global targets, identify poorly performing areas, and share interventions that are delivering results, with main focus on integration of HIV and TB services.
In Kampala alone, we receive over 200 new infections in Kampala. And that's quite big. We have already over 180,000 people on medicine. Over 200 every week, that's high. Therefore, I want to request people to make sure that they do all it takes to reduce HIV/AIDS, which is one of the biggest challenges that we have.
Programs like PrEP, which we heard about, PMTCT, are preventing new infections in both adults and children across Kampala. And all of this is very encouraging news, and we shall be proud of that, of those accomplishments.
Beyond clinical care, stakeholders say that the response must address the social and structural factors that contribute to people dropping out of care.
We are looking at what could be the city's current priority in this. Our recommendation would be to maintain the treatment outcomes we have already realized as partners, while we're closing the points where clients are still being lost.
For Kampala, stakeholders now want this collaboration to translate into stronger prevention, early diagnosis, uninterrupted treatment, and better viral suppression. The ultimate goal is not only to increase the number of people accessing services, but to ensure that those already in care remain on treatment and achieve the best possible health outcomes. Zahara Abigaba, Rogers Komagon for UBC News.
Now, the Speaker of Parliament, Jacob Maxence-Oborth, has pointed at the need to reduce on taxes levied on higher institutions of learning as they provide education at subsidized fees to Ugandans. According to the Speaker, taxes like ground rent, income tax, property tax, among others, need to be regulated so that higher institutions could provide education at fair charges.
The Speaker was responding to a request to government by the principal Makerere Business Institute, Nathan Byaruhanga Itungo, to reduce taxes at the institute's 16th graduation ceremony.
Artificial intelligence will transform the workplace, but will never replace character, judgment, and integrity.
According to the area member of parliament, Hajat Madina Nsereko, practical education should be embraced to close unemployment gaps.
From a rich family or a poor family, just as we have heard from our principal. Whether you're a man or a woman, when you enter a classroom, you are all equal. Education is the greatest equalizer that God gave us.
In a speech read for him by the Commissioner for Higher Education, Mukwata Mpola Mzamil, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education and Sports, noted that there are so many reforms taking place in the ministry to improve on the quality of education provided by institutions.
Considered in the subsequent changes that may come. For that matter, therefore,
Nasaza Jalia, the Deputy Executive Secretary, Curriculum Development and Management, cautioned all the facilitators in higher institutions of learning to prove their ability to deliver.
A training needs survey. This training needs survey revealed to us a lot of things that we have tried to address. And during the development of this curriculum, also we involved the industry.
The institution's principal, MBI, Nathan Biaruhanga Itungo, asked government to reduce on the taxes they collect from higher institutions of learning as they make education provision a bit expensive on the side of the parents.
So I want to go to the areas of Ministry of Education and Sports and the UFTA. We want to thank you for spearheading.
Graduates expressed readiness to utilize their expertise in their next step of life.
Apply ICT in every sector as it's needed in the world.
I have acquired a national diploma in journalism and media studies. I hope to instill that.
Mami!
Wanja sabo.
Ukamotia. Oina kachi. Ha. Kagulini zitekako. Teka kagulini. I want everything, eh?
Okay.
Yes. So, when I pay the time, this will increase my loan limit. Hey, Hemutieni Momo. Madam, remove the food. Put more meat. Add the meat. Yes. Hey. Now, these are the fruits of paying your loan is in time.
That's right. Every time you repay your Momo loan on time, your loan limit can increase, giving you access to more money when you need it most. Dial star 165*5 hash to borrow, pay back, and grow your limit with Momo loans.
You have Joyce?
Yes.
Joyce, see me.
Are you looking for a home away from home? Then this is the place for you. My name is Chini Kaji, and welcome to Hotel Le Confidential.
With 84 comfortable rooms where you can relax and feel safe. Each room has a lovely view of green vegetation, Wi-Fi, air conditioning, and a tasty breakfast.
Children can have fun at our kids' water park and our kids' play area. You can also enjoy our world-class health club, spa, sauna, gym, boutique, and sky blue swimming pool.
Thank you for choosing Hotel Le Confidential, where every stay is unforgettable. Come and stay in comfort, right at home, today, tomorrow, and always.
On Thursday this week, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni assented to two bills into law, the Excise Duty Amendment Act 2026 and the Income Tax Amendment Act 2026. The cement industry is among those impacted within the Excise Duty Tax Amendment, and sector players are saying this will inevitably increase costs along the value chain since margins on cement are already thin.
It was first announced during the budget reading for this financial year that excise duty on several consumer products like fuel, motorcycles, sugar and cement, among others, would be increased.
Cement from Uganda shillings 500 to Uganda shillings 750 per 50 kilograms per bag to generate 15 billion.
And as of Thursday, August 20th, 2026, this law took effect.
Best cement manufacturer in Uganda Gold, Metro Cement Uganda Limited.
This comes in the wake of sector excellence, where Metro Cement, a key player, has been awarded gold at the 2026 Business Excellence Awards for its contribution to infrastructure development.
Today, cement industry is a competitive market. We have 4 or 5 factories, so the gap of margin is very thin. So I kindly request the decision-making committee bodies to be very carefully, strategically review us and support us so that we grow along with Uganda.
As Uganda's industrialization drive is gaining new momentum, there are calls to attract more medium-sized investors across value chains so that players can benefit from economies of scale. Catalyzing this segment of investors could also boost the much-needed government revenue and employment opportunities for Uganda's young and skilled labor force.
National development is not only a government responsibility, it's a collective effort involving patriotic entrepreneurs and businesses that create jobs, that build local capacity and provide quality goods and services.
As the new law takes effect, analysts will be watching closely to assess its impact on the various sectors affected and whether government's targets will be achieved. Wadulo Arnold Mark for UBC News.
Now, Makerere University has hosted a conference exploring how the emerging theory of noonomy can contribute to solving modern social and economic challenges. The conference held under the theme, The Theory of Noonomy and Its Role in Resolving Modernity Issues, Pathways to Sustainable Social and Economic Transformation, brought together scholars and other stakeholders to examine new approaches to development in an increasingly technology-driven world.
University's positioning research and innovation at the center of discussions on Uganda's development future as scholars explore the theory of noonomy and its potential to reshape how societies approach technology, production and sustainable economic transformation. The discussions focused on the changing relationship between human beings, technology, knowledge and economic production, with emphasis on how innovation can be harnessed to address development challenges sustainably.
So, this theory is going to help us debate our paradoxes and our contradictions, but also to interrogate how noonomy can help us resolve these contradictions and build a future that is inclusive, sustainable, and knowledge-driven.
Friendship between our peoples. We will always be proud of the comprehensive support that we provided to African nations that paved way to their independence and sovereign development.
At a time when automation, artificial intelligence and advanced technologies are reshaping industries and the nature of work, participants argue that development models must evolve beyond traditional economic thinking.
We had at Makerere by Professor Mazrui that the new African University, or the African University, the new independent Africa, should actually be as good and as excellent as any university in the world. And out of this, their products will be equally competitive. But at the same time, we had Walter Rodney, based in the University of Dar es Salaam, saying that African University should be anchored in the society in which it exists.
Another promising bilateral undertaking is the participation of Uganda in the Alabama STAR program, which is aimed to provide vocational training for young people from Uganda.
The conference also highlighted the importance of research and innovation in creating solutions that respond to Africa's unique social and economic realities. For Uganda, the discussions provide an opportunity to consider how emerging technologies can support productivity, create new opportunities for young people and contribute to sustainable economic transformation. The conference was funded by the government of Uganda through the Makerere University Research and Innovations Fund, MACRIF. Sandra Kahonde, UBC News.
And with that, we've come to the end of our first edition of News Tonight. Thank you for watching. My name's Moureen Babirye. I'll see you back here at 10 p.m.